The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered 12. I covered.
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Wednesday, Brigade. What is up? Welcome in to another episode of the Bostonian versus the book. Matt Perrault, Dave Sharapan, live on YouTube and Twitter. Replay on Sports Grid. Little Christmas color action you guys got going on today with the red and the green. In July, Christmas in July is going on all over the country. People like to take your money in July, get you ready for the holiday season, and way too early. How are you on this Wednesday, my friend?
What the hell are you talking about? Christmas in July. What are you talking about?
You ever heard of that? Christmas in July?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
I don't know, but if that applies to us, but what are you wearing the Buccaneers hat for today?
Because it's, I guess today would be the official end of Tom Brady's career because now it's official. It's over.
Oh, we can be done talking about him and all this.
Players are now saying publicly that Tom has told them that they're done. Tom's not coming back. So we're gonna end.
Wow. Was really worried about having to move the odds or something, because Tom Brady was coming back and going to take a team to the playoffs or the Super Bowl or any of that other stuff. Whoa, that's good. Yeah, everything's good. We're getting ready to go. We're booking guests for tomorrow, lining the shows up tomorrow. Big show tomorrow. Big show today.
Scott Van Pelt, by the way, just got announced. Just I guess reportedly took over on Monday Night Countdown.
Oh,
how about that?
Wow.
His days of doing late night TV are nearly kaput.
You think so?
He said it. He said, I'm not doing this job in 3 years. He might not be doing that job in the fall.
Mm.
I mean, you can't do Monday Night Countdown and do the night show. It doesn't work.
Not on Monday.
Well, no, that show's on the road though. You travel.
Right. So he don't work Monday and Tuesday.
That's,
he works Monday Night Countdown, but he don't do Sports Center Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe now. Ooh.
That's a lot. Yeah. He would be transitioning away. I really thought Laura Rutledge was going to wind up getting that job. Scott Van Pelt beat her out and he got that job for that spot. That's like the, arguably one of, if not the biggest spot for ESPN right now.
Is it?
Yeah. That pre-halftime and post-game slot for ESPN, just audience size wise, that's huge.
All right. I'll take your word for it.
Big job. I mean, think about it. People watching NFL football. There's only one place to watch Monday night. Monday night. It's on ESPN. So the pregame show is huge. The halftime show is huge.
It used to be huge. I don't know how huge it is anymore. I don't know how many people watch it. That's part of the reason why it's, the space is changing the way it is. So
yeah, people. I mean, it's not as big as it once was, but it's still a standalone football game. It's still going to be a very big spot. They're paying for, obviously the rights for it in insane amounts of money. So
right.
Interesting little start to the day there coming up with that. Okay. So let's get to baseball kind of right out of the gate here. Cause last night was just one of the craziest nights. If you were watching the lines and watching the games, you were on Sports Grid. We haven't seen 12 teams score double digits since 1894.
Yep.
We saw it last night with 12 teams getting into the double digits. I mean,
incredible.
Live totals in the 28.5 range for the Braves and the Diamondbacks.
So here's the scores from yesterday. Milwaukee, Philadelphia, 4-3. 11-10, Giants, Reds. 16-13, a football game broke out, Arizona, Atlanta. 5-2 in St. Louis over the Marlins. 17-3, another football score. Falls 14, the Cubs beat the Nationals. 5-3, Texas beat Tampa. Texas is coming, big business. We can see it. Kansas City comes back and wins 11-10 over Detroit. Yankees go down again to the Angels, 5-1. 3-0 Oakland over Boston. How did that happen? Minnesota 10-3, another football score. How does that keep happening? 10-1. Cleveland beat the Pirates. This has just not been a very good week for the Pirates at all. It's just the end. 10-3. The Dodgers beat Baltimore. Another football score, albeit a first half. 9-1. Musgrove over Toronto and Manoah's return. Terrible return for Alek Manoah. Another 11-10 score. I can't remember seeing two 11-10 scores on the same day. So random. But the Mets beat the White Sox 11-10, and then a random 4-3 comeback, or Colorado beat Houston as a huge dog. Go through those numbers, and all right, obviously one, there's a lot of overs. But two, your question in the rundown was one that I think is an obvious question, but the answer is simple. Do the books adjust anything? Nothing changes.
Nothing changes.
Nothing changes today. Nothing changes today.
Okay.
No. But, I mean, the runs are up. Everything is up. I used to love to bet baseball unders. I don't love betting baseball unders anymore.
It is dangerous. I mean, 4.58 runs per game. I mean, it's approaching record territory here in terms of what we're seeing per team. This is not per game. This is per team.
Correct.
Are scoring nearly 5 runs a game.
So if you take a quick look at the odds board today, you got an 8.5, a 9, a 10.5 in Cincinnati, where the totals have been high, a 10 in Atlanta between Arizona and the Braves, a 9.5, a 9.5, an 8.5, an 8.5, an 8.5. Somehow there's a 7.5 in Seattle. I don't know why. 8.5 in Pittsburgh today, 9, 12. 12.5 in Colorado,
which is typical,
back, baby.
Yeah.
9 and 9. Perrault, the days of the 7.5s may be bye-bye. There may not even be 8s without juice under.
But
Or,
that's that's an adjustment, is it not?
It is, but you got to look at the pitching matchups, right? Like, look at the names today. I mean, there's a lot of names that either you don't know or you only see spot starts and this and that. It's not Aces Day.
Right.
So, yes, this is probably an adjustment on days like this when the 4s and 5s go. You know, if we're sitting in a room and we're debating between 8.5 or 9, it's 9 automatic.
Okay.
That may be the adjustment.
And baseball wanted this. I mean, this is mission accomplished, right? This is what they were hoping for. Shorter games, more offense, bigger bases, no shift, DH in both leagues. This is what Manfred wanted, right? This is the Frankenstein creation that he was hoping to get.
If the games aren't longer, yes. You don't want longer games. That was the first order of business. We got to get the game to 3 hours or less. It has to be inside of 3 hours. We can't have games. You know, we want them 2.5. Fits into the TV window perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Mission accomplished.
Apparently, the people all like more scoring in
Well,
everything.
Right.
NFL, giving me more scoring. Right?
I mean, the game last night didn't make any sense between the Diamondbacks and the Braves. I bet first 5 over 6. It hit in the first inning. I mean, it's like, excuse me, like that's the easiest first 5 over. We were talking about, you're like, man, 6, yikes. They scored 7 in the first inning. It was 5-2 after 1.
Correct.
It was just, and that was like, okay, let's see how crazy it gets. And then it just was like a ping pong going back and forth. And then it was a 16-13 win for the Diamondbacks. They won on the run line. I mean, they cleared everything.
I had multiple bets on that game, both sides, plus a 1.5. I didn't even know what I needed at one point. I know I ended up with more money in my account than I had when I started, so that was good. When that game came on, we were watching it, and I saw the in-game total go right to 21.5. 7 runs in the first inning. Went right to 21.5. We were on. I said, go over. He said, what are you talking about? I said, I don't think they're done, even close to done scoring, because they left the starters in.
Right.
So they were going to get a second crack at him. if they get more runs, they were going to leave them in again. Like they were like, all right, it's going to be a slugfest.
Yeah, you got to wear it. Tell these pitcher, you're just going to wear it tonight, bud. Sorry.
Yeah, it's one of those things when you have a total like that and you bet on it. I said it on the air yesterday. The only thing that can cause you to lose is Mother Nature in a rainstorm. You're like, please don't rain. I ain't got nothing to worry about. I got the over 6. It's 7 runs in the first. Just don't rain.
Now, let me ask you this, because in hockey, we spent a good amount of the season talking about first period gifts, first period overs, Edmonton game overs. Vegas became a very good bet in the second half of the year on the road. We saw on the other side, like Minnesota and Dallas were very good bets at home to the under, but even Minnesota started to get going on the road where they started to become automatic overs. When we get to the playoffs, does this revert back to typical playoff baseball, or are we going to see more offense than we're used to in the postseason? Because I think it goes back to 3-2 baseball.
All-star game like that.
Yes, I agree.
We got to find out about the baseballs, don't we? Somebody.
That's the joke on Twitter right now is that, so Manfred's back to juicing the ball again, I see. So
Dave's Derby picks, Dave's daily picks, in the chat just said maybe they put the home run derby balls, all the ones they had left over, into the circulation this week.
Possible.
Because it can't, it's this easy. Like balls they're getting runs. It's not just home runs either.
No.
That's the best part about it.
Well, Ohtani leads the game in triples.
Guy runs like a deer.
So
it's graceful watching him run. He turned around first base, perfect turn, and I was like, he's going 3. Cruises into 3, standing up, triples and home runs and strikeouts too. No, he's not leading the league in strikeouts. Is he?
No, he's leading the league in opposing batting average.
It's absolutely.
That's what he leads the league. Leads the league in. But that's going to be my big question, because I assume that playoff baseball looks like the All-Star game. I'm not positive, because some of these teams have 1 or 2 starters and then that's it. And behind it is not great pitching.
Right.
And we could see more offense later in these series. Maybe game 1, game 2 is low scoring, but then game 3, 4, 5 could be just absolute home run derby.
Yeah, I'm watching a Pirate game. I got it on right now. Sorry if I'm distracted. Someone asked me if I'm breaking important news. No, I'm hoping the Pirates can tie this game up. They're down 4-1 in the 5th.
Okay.
That's what I'm watching.
What was your play today?
Over.
Game?
Okay. Yeah.
8?
No, because it was guesswork, because I had to do it the day before. Over 8. I just guessed. I just said over, whatever it is.
We just got a text.
8.5. We're getting texts. We're just getting texts about what is that? I didn't read it.
Stuart just said, Matt and Dave, all went well with my surgery. I'm booking my flight for Vegas. Just want to make sure you guys are good with the meetup. But Stuart is coming to town to sign up for the proxy service. But he had a procedure done this week on the 17th. And so we were texting with him, hoping everything was going to go well for him. So it looks like he's in the clear.
Okay.
So that's good news. So Stuart will be here in town. That's going to be great to meet him. So we just got that text message. We'll get to the Brigade proxy service text line here a little bit later on the program, but Good to see that he's going to be okay. So, what's the feeling from a Pirate fan perspective right now? You guys just gave your number 1.
Oh, you froze. Right when you got to the good news about the Pirates, you froze.
Oh,
sorry. Very serious face. Look at that serious face.
Are you back now?
You're
back? Okay. So Polsky's signed a $9.1 million record signing bonus for the first pick overall.
Yes.
His teammate, the second pick from LSU, hasn't signed yet. So good job by the Pirates taking the easier guy to sign.
Yes. Well, and the pitcher.
Is that do you feel better about that now? Like you've got some hope coming down the pike. So this year it's about the future. It's not so much about this year anymore for the Pirates.
I don't know about all that. I'm just glad he signed. Like that's just first and foremost, like let's get the guy signed and let's worry about
he's coming up fast, is he not? 9.1 million for a signing bonus means he needs to contribute quickly.
There's no need to contribute if this continues the way it's going this year.
I disagree with you. I bring him up in September. I put him right to the big league club. I start the clock immediately. Let's go. You got a guy who's throwing 101 miles per hour, can throw 120 pitches in a game. No need to waste the arm in the minors.
I don't know. He's young enough. It's not going to matter. We're going to waste it in the majors, and they're going to start the clock counting. I don't know. It's neither here nor there. I'm just glad he signed.
Yep.
The trip out west here coming up, that'll be the final, not nail in the coffin for me for the Pirates season, but they somehow win today, come out west, take 2 of 3 from the Angels and 2 of 3 from the Padres, go 4-2 on that trip.
His wishful thing.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping. That would be great. And, or they go 1-5 and, I start the work for Pitt football, Penn State football, and all the other stuff, Steelers and all that other crap. And then worry about the rest of the division. So it's exciting that they got the guy, and they got the guy that's going to be, he's going to be the cornerstone of the staff. If everything goes right, you take a number 1 pitcher, number 1 overall, there's your ace. But unfortunately, I think Garrett Cole was the same thing, and he's in the Yankees. Like this Chris Benson back in the day went to Clemson. It was the same thing. They brought him right up. He looked okay for the Pirates and then went on to success in other teams. I hope we're not in that situation again. I'm excited.
$9 million signing bonus. How about that for baseball?
Is that a lot?
It's a record. It's most ever.
So again, when they tell you that they don't have the money, why do they always have the money?
Well, because you guys are building that across the street from your park. You're building that very expensive $112 million. I think I read that they're building across the street from the park, from PNC Park.
Retail.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. High Life Park. That they're going over.
I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch of bars and restaurants there now.
No, it's supposed to look like the Braves. It's got a gigantic, huge. It's supposed to open next season, 2025.
Oh.
It's supposed to after next season. It's going to open, and it's going to be a totally revolutionize that part of Pittsburgh, and bring people down there for not just the games, but for a bunch of reasons. So they're trying to coordinate all of that with the team getting good. The idea is that the Pirates are supposed to contend in 2025. That's the goal.
2025. I want to contend next year.
You're not going to contend next year.
Yeah.
It's 2025 is what you're projected. That's everything's going to open up then. That's where they have the new area around the ballpark. I guess they're putting a new scoreboard as well in 2025.
Really?
Yeah. So, and there's some people who are angry in your native town because they want that money put into the team, not put into the ballpark.
People have been saying this for years. I mean, the ballpark is amazing. The area around it has been developed, but not fully.
Yeah.
There's an outdoor amphitheater right next to it. They do a lot of shows there and a lot of things. And it's in the same, one block apart from Heinz Field or Acrisure Stadium. Sorry. It'll always be Heinz Field to me.
Yeah.
But it's all right there. So that's good. That's good. I mean, that's what Travis does. Travis developed the area around the Penguins when he worked the Penguins.
Yeah.
And they brought him to New York to do the same thing up there for the Islanders. And then he came back and he's doing the same thing for the Pirates. This is what he does in addition to building, hopefully a really good baseball team. It's something.
Sorry, that was my fault. Didn't mean to cut you off. Dave got mad. He ran away. No, I'm kidding. He went to go get a hat. I pressed the Ohtani watch thing too fast for him to roll. I think he's looking for an Angels hat. My guess is what he's doing. Am I right? I am wrong.
Blasted me right out of there.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was waiting for you.
I was like,
pause.
boom!
I was waiting for you to pause, and then you paused, and then I was hitting the Ohtani watch liner. So I was like, then you came back like, oh, where'd you go? I thought you were going to get an Angels hat. Okay, we talked about this a little bit last night, but let's get into this because this is a fascinating debate.
Yes.
Can Shohei Ohtani win the American League MVP if he is traded either inside the league or outside of the league? Ohtani, come the end of July, will have played somewhere in the neighborhood of 100, 105 games in an Angels uniform.
Yep.
He's minus 750 to win the American League MVP. The next closest competitor is 19-1 in Corey Seager.
Yes.
To win the American League MVP. This is a voted on award. This is entirely up to the voting committee, if you will, to who gets this MVP award if Ohtani gets traded.
I sent you those rules yesterday.
Yep.
How you vote on this?
Essentially, I don't need to post it. It's whatever they want. There are no rules.
There's no rules.
None.
There's kind of rules.
No, there's no rules. It's what if you're a voter, you get to just you have a very vague, flimsy type of explanation as to what you can and cannot do to vote. I mean, there's no criteria. I mean, literally, there's no solid criteria on any of this stuff about what you can do to vote for an MVP candidate. I mean, the criteria is.
Can I read them?
Go right in. Yep.
I have it right here. I just pulled it up. There is no clear-cut definition of what most valuable means. It is up to the individual voter to decide who was the most valuable player in each league to his team. The MVP need not come from a division winner or other playoff qualifier. Okay,
I would change
paragraph 1.
I would change that immediately, but that's
number 1. Paragraph 1. Paragraph 2. The rules of the voting remain the same as they were written on the first ballot in 1931. Number 1, actual value of a player to his team, that is strength of offense and defense. Number 2, number of games played. Number 3, general character, disposition, loyalty, and effort. Number 4, former winners are eligible. And number 5, members of the committee may vote for more than one member of a team. That sounds like Ohtani can win it.
Oh, of course he could. 100%. I don't think he would win the AL MVP if traded to the National League.
Who gonna get it?
Seager.
Well, we should bet him now.
Yes. 19-1. I don't believe if Shohei Ohtani goes to the National League, I do not believe that if Corey Seager is playing on the Rangers and they are going in the middle of a brawl for the American League West, trying to get, one of the top seeds in the American League, if Ohtani gets sent to the Dodgers, where he's around all that talent, the MVP award is going to go to somebody else, and it's probably going to go to Corey Seager.
So, American League MVP, Ohtani's minus 750, Corey Seager plus 19-1. Okay. Did you see the jump after that?
It goes to like 30, right?
Kyle Tucker, 35-1.
Yeah.
Bo Bichette, 35-1. Wander Franco, depending how you like to say it, 40-1. Randy Arozarena, 40-1. Then the numbers get absurd. Luis Robert Jr., 45-1. Marcus Semien, 65-1. Adley Rutschman, 85-1. Even Jose Ramirez in Cleveland at 100-1. Vlad Guerrero, 120-1. Should we not be looking to take a shot? What if he gets traded?
For starters, he has to be traded to the National League. Okay.
If he gets traded to the American League, if he can win it, pull this off, he wins the American League MVP. It's done.
Or Seattle, or Texas. Okay, I mean,
big business wants him to go to Texas. So
everyone is going to be in play. You'd be an idiot not to. All right. this is like a Miss America going ahead, opening up her DMs for anybody who wants to date her. Okay. Like everyone's going to go after it. Okay. They're all going to submit some type of proposal to say, hey, what about this? Now they'll narrow it down. Yeah. Arte Moreno allegedly has been telling people he's not going to trade him.
Right.
I'm not trading him. Allegedly. I mean, there is so much of a smokescreen being fired around right now between agents and players and managers and GMs. Like, I don't believe any of this right now. Any report that comes out between now and the trade deadline, I'm not believing any of it. My gut tells me the Angels are listening to every offer presented. They're going to do their due diligence. They're going to listen to it all. It doesn't mean they pull the trigger, but they're going to listen to it all. If he doesn't get traded, he goes to like minus 10,000. Like he's winning the MVP, period. If August 1 comes, whatever number you want up there, Ohtani's winning the MVP award. Even if he gets hurt, he's winning the MVP award as long as he's still playing in the American League and with the Angels even more so.
Yeah.
So you have to assume he's getting traded to make the bet. So if you are assuming he's getting traded, then I think you have to at least look at Corey Seager because of what he's done this year for the Rangers. Right. And I think he becomes the pick that the media, the voters, will go with because he will play, as you mentioned, there is a games clause in that. He will play 160 some odd games for the Rangers, and Ohtani will have played 100 for the Angels.
Oh, yeah. No, if Ohtani gets traded in the National League, he's not winning.
I would agree.
And he's not winning the National League MVP either because that would be an injustice to Acuna.
Agreed.
Who's the same number as Ohtani today in some places, minus 650 or minus 750. Or Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman. I mean, there's not. He's not going to win it over them.
Right. Who play 150.
If he gets traded, he ain't winning it.
Yeah, he's out. And so if you're Mr. Bookmaker.
Yeah.
We were talking about this off the air last night, but what's the defense for this? What do you do if people start to come in? You start lowering the odds on Seager?
Yeah.
Just in case?
Oh, for sure. What's the worst can happen? He don't get traded, you move him back up.
Right. Right. And you know all that money you're taking on Seager's, you're pocketing it. So
that's what I mean.
The odds don't matter. I mean, you could put Seager at 10-1, 8-1, 6-1. Doesn't matter. People come in hammering it and betting it. If Ohtani's not traded, you're keeping all of it.
Yeah, but that's why you don't even have to move it too. You could take on the risk right now,
right,
and say move Seager up to 25-1. I don't think he's getting traded.
Well, you got to play. I think you have to play defense in case he gets traded. I think
you can play offense, move it up, go get the Seager money. If we're running the book and I don't think he's getting traded, you don't think he's getting traded. We put our money where our mouth is.
How do you know though? You have to know that for a fact.
We don't know. Nobody knows.
Oh, that's a gamble. I like it, but it's a gamble.
You know, can anyone else in the American League win it other than Seager?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think if Seager were to get hurt and then you have a run, like, you know, hypothetically, there is a, you know, if there's a situation in play where, I'm trying to think who else could make a run. Like, I don't know, could if the Orioles caught the Rays, could you see a catcher who is behind the plate, switch hitter? You know, if he takes him to the number 1 seed, could you see Rushman getting it?
No.
All right.
I don't think so.
But I can't see anybody I can't see either Blue Jay option coming in, Bichette or Vlad.
Right. I don't know. I mean, Vlad is 120-1. Devers is 150-1, 200-1. Judge is still on the list. There should be an investigation into a sports book that has Aaron Judge on the list to win the MVP.
Just take the money.
You should not be taking bets on Aaron Judge to win the MVP. Just saying. Take him off the list.
Fair.
It's not right. People shouldn't be allowed to bet that because he can't win. He's not even playing, and nobody knows when he's coming back. But here's $10 at 200-1. Stop. Take it off the list. I know you're watching the show.
I don't know. I mean, I think there's I don't know. I mean, Seager's the odds on. I really can't make too strong of a case for anybody else other than Seager. If healthy.
There's guys listed, but I mean, Big Business just came in and said Seager's not even qualified for at-bats yet.
He will be, though, by the time we get there.
Yeah, he should be fine.
Yeah. But qualified for what? We just told you there's no at-bat qualification for the MVP. There is no qualification. It's whatever you want. You play one game in the American League
champion. Maybe that's what he's. That's what.
Oh, okay, that's fine. But
I'd wait
one
till big business says, "I'll wait till a secret gets called." Qualified for what? Big business.
Yeah, I mean, you qualify for what? I mean, there is no rules as to what you vote, the criteria in your own head. Really? I mean, if you play one game in the American League, you're eligible to win the MVP award.
Right.
Like you're an American League player with one game. Okay. Even if not, even if you play in both leagues, you're still Ohtani can still win the American League MVP playing in the National League. That is eligible. He can do that. I just don't think he's going to be able to win it because the voting public, the voting, panel won't give it to him.
Right.
But he could. That's possible. I mean, how about that conversation? Oh. Hey, Ohtani is with the Dodgers, but we're going to give him the American League MVP award because what he did in April, May, June, and July was so spectacular that, August and September in the National League doesn't really matter.
That blows up the whole award. I don't want that conversation. That blows up the whole award.
But you know what? The whole thing should be blown up because in 2018, Mike Trout had no business winning the MVP over Mookie Betts. So I've always said the MVP.
So mad about that?
I'm pissed off. I will be mad about that until they change their criteria. Mookie Betts played in meaningful baseball, led the Red Sox to a World Series championship, while Mike Trout didn't play in a single meaningful game after July the 1st. And they gave it to him because of his historic WAR number. He was so great. The team sucked. They were awful. And yet Mike Trout wins the MVP, but Mookie Betts is playing in September baseball that mattered and carrying the Red Sox offense in September, into October, into a championship. Yeah, the MVP was Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Get out of here. It's nonsense. Complete garbage. Change the V to an O, and I would have listened to it. Most outstanding player? Fine.
Now we're going to change the names of the award.
If you want to.
Better.
Because outstanding to me, value is the problem. Most valuable means your team is winning. That's the criteria. The MVP need not come from a division winner or other playoff qualifier. Garbage. You should be. You got to be on a good team. You should not be if your team is under 500, I rewrite that by saying, if your team is under 500, you are not eligible to win the MVP award.
Well, that loses the incentive for those guys on the bad teams to keep playing to be the MVP.
What's the incentive to be a me guy, to get my numbers, to get my stats up? That's good.
You got to keep playing. You can't quit on the season. You got to keep playing for the next contract, for the next
that's typical. Regardless of the MVP award, you have to do that though. It's pro sports. So it doesn't matter if you're not eligible for the MVP or not. If your team is garbage, then it's most outstanding player. Okay. Different award. Then a bad team can have the most outstanding player because he's the best player on the worst team. Okay. I'm 100% comfortable listening to that. I am not comfortable listening to the value argument of Mike Trout playing for a 2018 garbage Angels team. Whether Mike Trout was on that team or not, they were garbage.
Yeah, they weren't good.
And Mookie Betts won a ring, something Mike Trout hasn't even sniffed yet.
Isn't that enough?
No. Mookie Betts should have been the MVP in 2018 in a Red Sox uniform. 100% of my mind. I will never let that
go. Your guys are here watching the show again. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. We're doing shorts now, like those. Get those in the algorithm. My daughter left a comment that killed us both. It was outstanding. She's actually, she's watching. The kids are watching. The kids know. You guys know. Do you need to be 500 to be an MVP in baseball? Yes or no? Put it in the chat right now, because you got a couple people that said 4D 5S thinks a 500 record should be a qualifier. So make the trophy most OP, outstanding player. I don't know what's going on. Yes or no? 500 qualifier for the MVP. Just put yes or no in the chat. You guys are writing sentences. I'm trying to read them. Some people think you're right. Other people think you're wrong. I'm getting text that says I'm starting a book of rules, of Perrault rules.
That's fine.
That piss him off. Wow. All right, good.
Let's go right ahead. There's a million. And that's one of chapter 1, 2018 Mookie Betts versus Mike Trout. I will never let that go.
gotta let it go.
No, I'm never letting that go. Not until they change they have to change the MVP.
Yes.
MOP.
Yes.
Called the mop. I'm totally fine. Anybody who says no, you cheer for a team that sucks.
No. Wow.
If you say no, your team's bad.
Heck
no. I'm gonna make that call. Your team is bad.
Oh man.
You should make them declare their fandom as well. If they're writing no, what's your fandom? Because
Chef Benny, one of your people.
Yeah.
I mean, he's our people. We're all the same people.
Sure.
Girl dad coming. I'm so excited for that kid.
Right.
He just said baseball is one of the few sports where an MVP can't carry the team. It's not like basketball or even football.
So why have the award then, dude?
It's been the award since 1931.
Just blew up the award. If you can't carry, if value is nothing, then why have the award?
Oh, don't get me started on this value conversation, please. There's people with value, there's shows with value, and then there's shows without value. Don't tell me about the value conversation.
Just saying, if you're going to claim that baseball can't have a value play, a player cannot carry a team, then why do we have the award?
E came in the chat and said, speaking of MVPs, Jokic should have three-peated.
Amen. 100%. He's right.
He is right about that.
Embiid, no. Sorry, no. Embiid should not have won the MVP. It was Jokic, but fatigue and whatnot. Okay.
Wow. Konowinski just came in and said, WAR is the best measurable for MVP. Do you believe that?
I mean, I'm not a sabermetric guy. I've never subscribed to this.
Do the voice.
No, it's just
do the voice.
I can't do it on command. It just has to be normal. It has to be in the flow of conversation.
Man, you need a fluffer.
Yeah,
fluffer for this.
No, I need to get it. I need to be in character for it to actually work. But to do the dork voice,
WAR is
to do the dork voice, I can't do it just
WAR
on command.
Is the best measurable for MVP.
Yes. That's what it is. Yes, and then you need a pocket. You need to push your glasses and adjust your pocket protector and go ahead and get your protractor out and go. This is what we're going to do. Here's our deal. Yeah. Yes. So WAR means wins above replacement. Yes.
Very nicely done. See?
God, my gosh. I get it. Okay. I understand all these different metrics and all these Angel fans go like, wait, no, Mike Trout's the greatest WAR. Okay, but did you watch the fucking game?
Well,
watch the game for me. Okay. Let's watch what happened in 2018 when Mookie Betts went bonkers in August and September and Mike Trout was sitting on his butt. Yes, putting up big numbers when the score was 7-0 against his team and he's hitting home runs in the 8th inning.
Yeah.
If wins above replacement, shouldn't the W mean something? That first word means win, right? If you aren't winning, what the fuck do I care about wins above replacement? Why do I care about wins above replacement? Think about it. Why do I care about wins above replacement if the team's not winning? It doesn't make any sense. I've had this conversation for a lot in my life. If you haven't noticed, this is a long. I've been arguing this for 6 years, 5 years, whatever it is.
Woo!
This is. I am very angry. I do not like the MVP conversation in baseball. I mean, let me ask you this: if you had a vote, Ohtani goes to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Would you still give him to the American League MVP? Would you vote for him?
It's a hard question because I mean, like,
it's a yes or no question. Would you or would you not?
I would feel like a stooge voting for him for the American League MVP when he didn't play in the American League
for the whole season. He did play 100 games in the American League.
Yeah, but he ain't in the American League
anymore, right?
I can't. How do you give him the award? But if he got the best stats and he got all the best numbers, and you just because he did it in a different uniform, it's still the same game.
I mean, nobody's touching his pitching, right? Because there's nobody pitching that he's up against. So you could justify it if you wanted to by saying the pitching alone. Well, no, the pitching alone makes him the most valuable because of what he did leading the American League, leading baseball in opposing batting average before he got traded. So you could justify it. You can square the circle. If you wanted to vote for him for the American League MVP with him in a National League uniform, you could pull it off and justify it. I'm just not sure I would do it. I'm not so sure the voting public would do it just because of these are voters and you never know how they're going to vote. I think they would vote for somebody else because out of sight, out of mind. After 2.5 months of Ohtani in a Dodger uniform, you're going to forget about what he did with the Angels.
couple good takes right here. Chef Benny. MVP is a dumb award. It is a pass around to give credit to really good players.
Fair.
Otherwise, LeBron and Brady would have won it every year.
Fair.
Austin Nakbar came in and said, in response, Chef, Ohtani should win it every year from here on out then. LOL. It's not like the Angels are great, but what would they be without him?
What are they with them? They're under 500.
They're coming. Look out. Here they come.
Yeah, look out. They're 47 and 48. Look
Whoa,
out.
here they come.
Well, here they come. Right.
You're going to play the Pirates on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's 3 more wins. They're going to be there coming.
You talked about
trading them.
You said the Pirates are going to take 2 out of 3 for you.
No, I was dreaming. Well, I wish the Pirates would take 2.
They might.
How?
Can't
hit.
It's the Angels. How? It's possible.
Good thing is we avoid Ohtani.
Pitching.
That's good. Yes,
not hitting, but pitching.
No, not hitting.
I don't know. I think it's going to be one of the most fascinating conversations leading up to the trade deadline in the betting community, in the betting market, to see what the books do. Because as we get 2 or 3 days away from the deadline and we really hear the rumors, we start seeing packages getting reported. Team offered X, Y, and Z for Shohei Ohtani. Angels turned it down, or Angels are considering blah, blah, blah. This is where this market in particular could be manipulated. This is ripe for a report. Shohei's getting traded. Everybody runs out.
Oh yeah, that was the nonsense with the Yankees talk. That's what I that's the first thing I thought. I'm like, that's why I called my guys back there. I said, who's talking about that? Who's saying that? Who's putting that out? Because that's gonna affect some things. And they said, well, we heard it. Somebody called us and
if you're in, there's so many insiders for baseball. If somebody comes up and reports that this deal is imminent, that Shohei's getting traded, and everyone comes in and hammers Corey Seager, and then he doesn't get traded, and they get to collect all that money. This is the way you can play. This is why information is so powerful in the betting markets on human voted awards. So it's not on the field. This is an off the field market.
Yeah. Which I can't stand.
Ripe
as the book. You just like, you put them up. And again, we didn't do much volume on them, but that doesn't mean that people aren't, so maybe some books do, but they are just, you get the right guy to say the right thing. Bets, stories, all kinds of stuff. I'm glad I'm not. That's reason number 5.1 million why I'm glad I'm not in a risk room right now.
Pivoting to golf, the Open Championship starts tomorrow at Royal Liverpool Golf Club here. Let's take a look at the betting markets just at the start here of play. You have got a Scotty Scheffler plus 650, Rory McIlroy plus 750, John Rahm 12-1, Brooks Koepka 18-1, Cam Smith 22-1, Patrick Cantlay 22-1, and on from there we wind up going. This is the final. Do you call it the British Open or do you call it the Open Championship? What do you call it?
Well, now that I'm a content guy, in addition to being a book guy, in the book, we always called it the British Open because it used to be called the British Open.
Correct.
And then I'm a content guy and they're like, it's the Open Championship. I'm like,
it's the Open.
It's an open and shut case that it's bullshit. It should be the British Open. I don't know why they needed to change it.
Because they want to be uppity, because it's the U.S. Open. So they had to, one up, say, well, we have been doing ours longer. So ours is the Open. You must distinguish yourself from us. So you are the U.S. We are the Open Championship.
I like your uppity voice.
It's your tea and crumpet crowd. Yes. It's your pinky tea crowd.
Well, my friend, it is bullshit. Okay? How about that? It's the British Open. That's what it should be called.
By the way, have you done afternoon tea at the Waldorf here in town? Have you done that?
No.
You haven't done that? Oh, I've done that twice. Madeline loves it.
Really?
Oh my God. My daughter absolutely loves it. It's actually really pretty fun. Yeah. It's right. View on the Strip. We've done it at night and we've done it in the afternoon. My mother loves it. My daughter loves it.
You definitely got a bougie side in you.
I'm from Andover, Massachusetts.
You got a bougie side in you.
Yeah.
Tea at the Waldorf on the Strip with the kid.
Yep.
You're training her. She is going to annihilate me.
Annihilate me. There's absolutely no debating on this. She's going to annihilate.
What is she going to do to the poor mother. What are we doing
Oh, yeah.
today? We're going to a movie at McDonald's. Oh, hell no, I'm not. Oh, hell no, I'm not.
Oh no. That's what I mean by us raising our kids here. Like she literally will say to one of her friends, like, have you ever gone to the Waldorf to go to afternoon tea? like it's a normal question. I'm like, Madeline, that's not a normal thing that people just wind up doing. Now it's not that expensive. It's only like $40 a person.
Right.
So it's not like it's like ridiculous. It's just the act of itself. You go in there, everyone's dressed up, it's a very bougie is a good word for it for what's there.
It's no question. It's bougie.
I mean, it's finger food and tea for $40. It's ridiculous. It's like $3 worth of stuff for $40. It's a hell of a markup for the Waldorf Astoria.
Where's the Waldorf here?
Right next to Aria.
Oh, that's what they call it, the Waldorf Astoria, just like the one in New York?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Right.
I don't even know where that's at.
Yeah, you do. It's right. It's the same. It's actually the same inlet for Aria in that whole area.
Okay.
Just a little. It's like how at Mandalay Bay.
Yeah.
They've got the Four Seasons. Okay. The Four Seasons. They have
Delano or the Delano. Yeah.
Or either or. But Four Seasons is also there.
Yeah.
There's a part of there's a part of the Delano or Delano that is Four Seasons. Same thing with Aria. There's a part of the Aria complex that is the Waldorf.
See, I guess working down there as long as I did, like I'm so not jaded, but I've seen the back of the Waldorf. I've seen the back of the house at all these places.
Yeah.
So I know what's really behind the curtain. And nothing really I'm just like, this is another like $40 for tea and crumpets.
Yeah.
What the are you talking about? Like that's
for a nice view of the strip, essentially, and some classical music, someone playing on a piano, and it's the open crowd. How about that? It's people who would call it the open would go to afternoon tea.
Yeah,
at the Waldorf.
It starts early in the morning.
Early,
which is one thing. Two, I like watching it because no one's awake at this house most of the time when it's on. So I can just sit and watch golf like I used to when I was single, or it was important. It's not as important now, and it's a really long time commitment to watching it.
Right.
When you watch it and bet on it. It's the last major of the year, though.
Wow. It's actually going to tee off tonight at 10:35 our time.
Pacific, I know.
Oh, my. I thought it was going to be overnight for us. No. It's 10. We can watch golf from 10:30 to like 2 a.m. today.
Yes.
Tonight.
Yes.
How about that?
Yes.
Not that I want Sports Grid to go anywhere, but technically you guys can
watch us on Sports
Grid
from 9 to 11 Pacific, and then watch the golf until you go to sleep.
There you go.
Have you thought about this? Like that people are falling asleep to you and I, or doing other things at night?
I've thought about that a long time. Doing other things. Let's not get into this. Okay, we're not talking about.
What are you talking about? I meant washing up or brushing your teeth before bed. What are you talking about?
Title shots and feet conversations.
They might be doing that as well. If you're doing that tonight, just put on some Marvin Gaye in the background, leave us on the TV, and have a little night. Marvin Gaye, 1982, Sexual Healing. It came out. I tweeted it today. The video
today.
I believe so. I tweeted the video. I saw it in someone's feed, and I follow a couple music feeds that are just amazing.
40 years.
Do you remember the videos from like the 80s?
I mean, barely. I mean, I was 5. So, I mean, I don't remember. I remember like the late 80s videos. Yeah, because MTV was a huge deal then.
I mean, like you used to just leave it on for 6 hours.
Oh, yeah, of course. And you would actually like run home after school to watch the debut video for whatever band that was coming out.
Couldn't wait to see it.
Big deal. It was like, oh my gosh, the video for so-and-so is going to come out. It was huge. And then in the 90s, Total Request Live, TRL, was the other thing that everybody was waiting for after school.
Just think about that. That was a long time ago, but was must watch. I mean, it was
Carson Daly is still relevant somehow. Like that guy's been, I don't know he's got voodoo dolls on people. I don't know. That guy's career won't die.
He built up a lot of equity, I guess, with a lot of people at that time. And he's still around where people still go, hey, that's the guy from MTV.
Right.
It's good. Hey, whatever. Live. It works. Yeah. I bought a ticket from a guy at the Summer League who had a Yo MTV Raps bucket lid on Sunday. It was outstanding. I wanted it. I wanted to take it off his head. And he would have sold it to me too, but he would have charged me way too much.
80% of people would be like, what does that mean today?
Yo, MTV Raps?
Oh, anyone under the age of 25 has no idea what that is.
Oh, boy, they're missing out.
I mean, think about that. Just like if they came out with that today, think about if somebody came out with a show called Yo MTV Raps today. It would be, the kids would be like, what the heck are you talking about?
What
dude?
is this? Yeah.
It would be such a strange.
I think it would be a monster.
Today, no, I don't think it would be. Kids don't say.
Well, I mean,
Yo.
somewhere they could go and see.
It would be
all
like
this
dude
stuff.
MTV Raps or something like that. They need like a different slang word. 'Cause at the time, that was like a hip word to say.
Yo, MTV Raps. Yeah,
that was Yo was the dude of the 80s was the Yo conversation, and then they made that into a whole brand, and it blew up, and white suburban kids learned what rap music was.
It was great.
That's basically what it was.
Absolutely.
So a couple of holes to keep track of. Hole 17 is a par 3. It's 136 yards. It's got a postage stamp size green on it, supposedly. They've redesigned this hole. This is going to be coming down the stretch. If you want high drama, this is going to be the hole that could cause major problems for somebody on Sunday.
There's a hole-in-one prop again.
And it's decent. At 136, it's decent.
Let's see. Minus 136
is the distance of the hole.
136
yards is the distance.
Will there be a hole-in-one? Yes or no?
I'm going to say yes is plus 200.
No.
Hole-in-one
in the tournament is now minus 188.
Oh, my goodness. What? That's only because of what happened.
It happens in the Masters every year.
Yes, but this is not the Masters.
There's
the U.S. Open.
One.
The U.S. Open had so many.
There's going to be a hole-in-one. The U.S. Open, same thing. U.S. Open, but when we looked at it, that short little hole, these guys are masters. They're artists. They're like Ginsu knife guys carving it up. They're going to chop, zip, spin it back right in the cup.
So there's this, hole 17. Hole 10 is a 507-yard par 4.
507 yards par 4. That's a long hole, no?
It's one of the longest in the history of the Open for a par 4.
The ball's probably going to roll 300 yards, right?
Maybe. But if the wind blows against you, this could be a bogey hole automatically. Like this could play at 5.
I swear, par 4, long par 4's way worse to me than anything.
Absolutely anything.
Right?
It's the hardest thing in golf, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, that second shot where you're staring at a 240 yard shot into the green.
Yeah.
I mean, it's link style golf, so you can run it up. That's a little easier on this style.
Right.
But still, in America, we have 500-yard par 4s, and it's brutal.
I'm trying to think the last, I would look at the card and go like 460 to 470 for a par 4 and go, man, that's going to be a brutal.
Right. That's long, right?
That's a hard hole.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that's tough.
So 507 is really long. Somebody just came in the chat and said that the conditions are supposed to be pretty moderate for this.
Okay.
So they're going to light this thing up, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. Let's see. AOWN. Course conditions are going to be a lot softer than typical. Thank you, sir, for joining the show and being part of the chat. Again, hit the like button.
So we're looking at a lower score.
Based on my conversations with the guys from the Golf Digest that I had with Gabe and Cam, and based on the conversations I've had with a couple people that bet golf and traded texts with, yes, I think there is going to be a hole-in-one in the tournament. Would I lay 188? I don't know if I'm going to bet it, but if I'm telling you what to bet, I would bet that. Yes.
It's interesting. So you can bet. FanDuel's got it all broken down. There's like a million different markets, but I mean, you can jump in on. They did it again though. FanDuel is putting the stats in the bets.
Will history specials? I saw that.
Will history repeat itself? Winning margin to be 3 or more strokes. It's happened 6 times since 2010. That's plus 200. Scotty Scheffler.
I want to bet the no.
Right.
I mean, I saw that last night too. And on that one particular, I want to bet the no.
And there is no price for no, unfortunately.
That's the bad thing.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to put it up and you're going to put the stats to mislead everybody, put the no. Let the people decide.
Right.
You can't have a one-way market and give them a fact to say this only happened 6 times. You should bet it. That's
6 times since 2010. So in the last 13 years, it's happened 10 or 12,
6 and
12
7.
tournaments. 12 tournaments.
6 and 6. It's a coin flip.
It's a coin flip. Scotty Scheffler to be in the top 10 of the round 1, including ties. It's happened in 22 and 21. Is plus 250. Jordan Spieth to finish in the top 10, including ties. Happened the last 2 years. Is plus 340. So no dead heat rules for Jordan Spieth. Winner to be in the top 5, including ties after each round. Happened last year at plus 470. So you can get a little. You
get very creative.
Yep. I mean,
I give them credit. They're doing a lot of stuff with the golf.
Not only are there hole-in-one specials, you can bet a hole-in-one in round 3, a hole-in-one in round 4.
Look at the prices and then scroll down. The hole-in-one in round 1 and 2 are half.
Yeah, -1. It's
half
-1.
the price.
-188 for in the tournament, and then it's plus 320 and plus 320 for round 1, round 2. It's plus
620 for round 3 and round 4.
Correct.
Complete speculation on the book's part.
The hole-in-one on hole 6 is plus 270. Hole 9 is plus 270. Hole 13 is plus 260. Sorry, it's plus 270. And then the 17th hole, the 136-yard short hole, plus 104. So not only can you bet, will there be a hole-in-one, there is a hole-in-one bet for each individual par 3 on the course that you can make.
Sorry, guy just got his first career hit for the Pirates.
Nice.
As they stopped the game, he looks like he's 12. He's on first base. They took the ball out. Dugout's excited for him.
What's the score?
4-2 Cleveland.
It's a little less exciting when you're losing.
Yeah, it is, but it's pretty cool because all his friends are there, and that's pretty neat.
Nice. Our the Brigade Proxy Service NFL story of the week. It's actually 2 stories, 2 different markets that we're going to get to here in just 1 second. But good job out of Stuart. Thank you for sending that text message to us. 702-570-8255 is the text line, or at Brigade Proxy on Twitter, brigadeproxy@gmail.com. Contact us, hire us. August is going to be very busy. If you know you're coming to town, you're coming to Bet Bash, more on that tomorrow. If you're coming to the Westgate Super Contest weekend, after the weekend after that, or the Circa Million Circa Survivor weekend, the weekend after that, hit us up. Let us know. We'll book. We got some different ways of keeping you guys away from the crowds. Okay. We got some angles.
Yeah. So those are back-to-back weekends.
Second,
Bet
third,
Bash,
and fourth. Yes.
Weekend, which we'll have more about tomorrow. And we got to stay tuned for the end of the show. We'll talk about that. Then it's Westgate weekend, where they're doing the golf tournament. We had Jay on last week. Reach out to them or us to work on that. And then the Circa weekend, which we're waiting to get confirmation on what we're doing about that.
Mm-hmm.
I better tell the wife I'm done with anything in August. Just don't plan on nothing.
Do it August 5th and August 6th. We are free August 5th.
School
August 6th.
starts that week,
Correct.
week after that.
Correct. The 9th, August the 9th.
Man, oh man.
Oh yeah. I've already been sending out the flares to everybody going like, yeah. So August, I talked to Madeline about it last night. I'm like, just so you know, it's like August is going to be a little bit crazy. So just bear with me for a little bit about how much I'm going to be working in the month of August. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. Like just, I'll make it up to you in some form or fashion. Like, if I could find a way to get myself into 2 tickets to Taylor Swift in Los Angeles or something, I need to find a way to make up for it because I'm not going to see my kid for the month of August, basically, with how much stuff we're going to be doing.
It'll be
fine.
I'm
kidding. We'll all be fine. Okay. So last winless an undefeated team. Circus Sports has put this market out yesterday. Okay. Let's talk first about the last winless team. Cardinals, Buccaneers, Texans, and the Rams. Here is one interesting criteria about this conversation because it's important. Tiebreakers. If multiple teams are the final team to get their first win of the season on the same day, whoever wins later in the day will be considered the last winless team of the season.
Tremendous.
So the Cardinals, because they're a West Coast team and they play in the West Coast market or in the West Coast time zone.
NFC West time zone for half the year. So
does that make it more attractive? Or does that Rams bet at 11-1 come into play?
I got to go through the schedules for each, but it could. That's why you need to consider it. And I think that's why the Cardinals odds, in addition to them probably being regarded as the worst team in the league, that's why their odds are the lowest to be the last winless team.
So I'll give you the quick Cardinals schedule for them as to what they're going to wind up doing. The Cardinals start the year against the Commanders, week 1 on the road, home against the Giants, home against the Cowboys, on the road at the 49ers, home against the Bengals, at the Rams in week 6.
Okay.
So maybe one win there, but they could open up. The Commanders game, could they not win the game against the Commanders, or is that just forget it? They can't do it. No way.
No, they can win that game.
Because after that, the Giants, I don't think they win that game. Cowboys, I don't think they win that game. 49ers, no. Bengals, no. Rams is a question. I think there's value in the Rams to be the last team to get a W.
There's value on. And what's the Bucs beginning of the year schedule?
So just real quick on the regular season for the Rams, they start at Seattle, home for San Francisco, at the Bengals, at the Colts, then Philly.
So they win week 4, right? They can win that game.
Okay, so they win week 4, and so the Bucs.
They could. I'm not saying they will.
Bucs schedule is Pittsburgh. Oh, it's preseason. Sorry, at Minnesota, week 1.
Okay.
Chicago at home.
They can win that game. Okay,
so then they're off the table. They play Philly and then New Orleans. Their bye week is in week 4 for Tampa. Oh, that's brutal. That's
okay. So if they lose the first 4, they have a bye. They could be the last winless team. You get a free week in that bet.
It could be yeah.
That one could win.
And then after the bye, they play the Lions. They play the Lions and the Falcons at home. Then Buffalo on the road, then at the Texans.
Could be a long season in Tampa.
Oh, the odds say so. That's, they play, they play a lot of road games late on November 19th. Starting there, they go at the Niners, at the Colts, home for the Panthers, at the Falcons, at the Packers, home for the Jaguars, home for the Saints, at Carolina. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of their last 8 games on the road.
And
some of them are, pretty good. Player to California.
Oh, you froze. There you go. You're back. Okay.
So you're going with
I
trips.
didn't hear words you said.
I said some of the trips are long on the road, like at San Francisco, at Indianapolis, at Green Bay. They're not quick trips.
Good.
So not good for Tampa Bay on the under. Now, the other market that Circa has put up is the last undefeated team to get the donut removed last. There is a little bit of
I think, right?
If multiple teams go undefeated, the teams that go further in the playoffs would be considered the winner.
Oh, man, that stinks. You got to wait for that.
Well, if we have 2 17-0 football teams, though, come on. That would be insanity.
No, but what if 2 teams get to 6-0 and they both lose the same week? We got to sit and wait. until their playoffs.
If multiple teams go undefeated, the team that goes further in the playoffs will be considered the winner. No, they would just keep on going until they figure out a loss. They have to go 17-0.
Say everybody loses except two teams, the Bengals and the Chiefs, week 6.
Who are 17-0. They have, in order that.
No. It's the last team to lose. Put the market back up.
Okay.
The last undefeated team.
Right.
2 teams are undefeated in week 6, the Bengals and the Chiefs. They both lose in week 6. The tiebreaker is we got to wait till the playoffs to sit and hold the money.
Yeah, I think we need to ask Benson when he comes back from vacation the clarification on that, because I don't think that's worded right. Because that means if they both lose in, say it's week 7, and they lose in the early window, the 1:00 Eastern time kick window, they both lose.
Yeah.
We got to wait all the way to the playoffs before we determine who winds up winning.
Well, that's the way it's worded. Is it not?
Yeah, it is. It is. No, you're right. It is.
I don't want to get that risk room fired up, but I mean, that might be you better hope that the undefeated team gets a single week by themselves.
Right. And they stay there alone. Otherwise, it could be a little bit of a headache.
Otherwise, you just got to sit and wait because that's what the rules say. We used to have these discussions in a room, and I would do that exact thing. I'd be like, well, so wait a second. I always thought of the scenario that made them go, oh, when they think of that. Oh, yeah. Well, how many times the team goes 17-0? Never.
Not right.
Never, but I know. Don't say it.
They didn't go. Well, they went 18.
I know who went
18-0.
I know.
18-0. Not 17-0 though. Never in the never seen a 17-0 yet. We've seen 18-0.
Who went 18-0?
Who? The Patriots went 18-0.
16-0 in a regular season.
Yeah, they went 18-1. They went 18-1 overall. They won their first 18 games. Then they lost the Super Bowl to the Giants. 18-0. So of these 4 teams, because I don't think the Bills go undefeated. Who was the last one to remove that W? Did you
see the Bengals schedule at the beginning? Don't they win a first? You go through their schedule.
So the Bengals schedule in this year, they play at Cleveland week 1. They could lose that game out of the gate.
Okay, then what?
Versus a home for Baltimore.
Okay,
lose that game easy. Home for the Rams on Monday night. That's a win. Then at Tennessee, that's a win. At Arizona, that's a win. Home for Seattle, that's a win. Bye week in week 7. And then at San Francisco after the bye.
There you go. Is that the first game they're not favored in? It's the first game they're not favored in, right?
I guess it depends upon what the 49ers have me completely befuddled. I don't know what to make of them this year. Well, the quarterback conversation is such a big issue for me. Who's playing quarterback?
Here come the Buccos. Look at this. Big hit. 5-4 Pirates in the 7th.
Great.
Just like that. I'm excited. Sorry. So week 1, you said, is Bengals at Cleveland. Bengals favored. Small.
Okay. Week 2 is home for Baltimore.
Favored.
Home for the Rams.
Favored.
At Tennessee.
Favored.
At Arizona. At Arizona.
Favored.
Yeah. Home for Seattle.
That's why. That's the one. I mean, go through the Eagles. The Eagles, it's a hard game at the beginning, yes, but after that hard game, they should be favored. I mean, they should win. They could win every one. They could be 5-1 going into the bye.
Yeah, but that's not good enough. 5-1.
But that's the bet.
Philadelphia opens at New England. Tom Brady celebration day.
They're winning that.
Who are the Eagles?
Oh, please! The Patriots are going to beat the Eagles in week 1. Tom Brady day.
Be real careful of that game.
What?
Be real careful.
Here we go.
Just telling you, be real careful.
God, if the Patriots are good this year, it's really going to take a turn.
Just saying. I'm just saying. Without seeing Bill O'Brien's offense, without seeing home Brady environment, Eagles, Super Bowl memories. We're going to put puking McNabb on the field.
Oh, God.
On the gigantic new big screen that they've got, which wraps around the entire end zone. It's monster. Huge deal. But then they play home for Minnesota on Thursday Night Football.
Okay.
After playing the Patriots, they got to go play Minnesota. Then they're at Tampa. Home for Washington.
Mm-hmm.
At the Rams. At the Giants. Sorry, at the Jets, rather. Home for Miami. At Washington. Home for Dallas. The bye week's in week 10, which is very advantageous for the Eagles. Think they go 9-0 to start? I don't.
No, I don't think so.
So I don't like the Eagles. 650. Okay, maybe. I don't like that. I think Kansas City may have some value there to be the last team undefeated.
What's their schedule to start?
Home for Detroit.
Win.
At Jacksonville.
Win.
Home for Chicago.
But they could lose the Jacksonville game,
Correct.
right? Jacksonville, that could be ending week 2, but okay.
Huge game there, but I think they win it. But
okay.
Home for the Bears.
Win.
At the Jets.
They could lose that game.
They could. At the Vikings.
Well, this is not easy. They could lose that game.
Home for Denver. Thursday Night Football.
They're winning that game.
Home for the Chargers.
Yeah, they should win that game. They always
do. Casey's schedule at Denver. After playing Denver in week 6, they play them on the road in week 8. They play Denver before the bye twice. I wonder if that's is that good or bad, do you think, for the Chiefs? I mean, if Denver is better than expected, and maybe early in the year they're a little bit trickier to play.
Right.
Wow. And then they play overseas against Miami.
We're doing the NFL stuff after.
I know we are, but we're just doing who's going to go. This is this market we're talking about. Okay. Last undefeated team. We'll do the win totals and the schedules. We haven't gone over all the schedules yet. We're doing that in August.
Right.
But this is interesting. What's the Ravens schedule? Could they be undefeated? Oh, yes, they could. Here's the schedule for the Ravens. They start with the Houston Texans. If they can beat the Bengals on the road, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if they could, they then play Indianapolis at home. Cleveland on the road.
They lose
Pittsburgh on the road.
Lose that game.
I don't know about that. Tennessee at home. Detroit at home.
Win that game.
Man, there may be a little value in the Ravens at 15-1.
Right?
To run the table.
Oh, man.
To be there.
Going to be great because
how many, what week, if you were going to predict, what week do you have to be undefeated until to win this bet?
I'm
going to say 8.
No, under. I was going to say 6. It might end at 4.
Wow.
You got to go through the schedules, but I mean, there'll probably be 1 or 2 teams that go 4-0.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. I would agree with that. Yeah.
And then depending on the bye, and then they get a 5th win. I don't think it goes past 6. I mean, maybe it's this team that gets it hot. It's probably going to be somebody we didn't expect.
Yes, that's what I would agree with. I think the longer the shot, I think that's a market you can take a flyer on based on schedule.
Right.
You can see who they are, handicap the Ravens a little bit as to whether Lamar with a new deal, is he going to come out and just ball out, or is he going to be content and maybe just not play as well as you would hope he would play? I mean, the Lion love is so loud right now. It's amazing. Everybody thinks the Lions are going to go and do some big things.
Oh, yeah.
It's a way of, who comes out of the gate hot. I know Jet fans are going to say that their team's going to come out of the gate hot. I don't agree, but awesome line that came out during the week was from an unnamed source that was the NFL scout that just said, everyone's really afraid, just to say the truth, that Aaron Rodgers is not nearly as good as he used to be.
Oh,
I loved it. I was like, this is awesome. It's already starting. The whispers are already starting around Aaron Rodgers.
There's nothing more fun than rooting against the New York teams. Let's just keep it real.
They've got Hard Knocks coming in. The rabbit
It's going to be
ears.
just. I can't wait. I'm going to watch it. I can't wait.
It's going to be train wreck
all
TV.
material.
Rodgers. I mean, I can't, because Rodgers is a weird dude. Everything we've heard about Aaron Rodgers is he's a weird guy.
I feel, in all fairness,
Yeah.
I feel like I've gotten to know him a little bit on Pat's show.
Of course. Yes. He sits
He's
there.
the most human being, because I thought he was a cyborg before.
Oh.
And like he's a human being
But he's
the
prickly,
show.
though.
Of course. I mean, but he didn't trust nobody with the media. I can relate to that. I mean, there's a lot of things that, he says and does, and you're like, what is he doing? But on Pat, he just gives it to it straight because he knows those guys are good with him. Daniel G just came in the chat and said, Dave, the Chiefs could lose to the Jags, but it's an instant win versus the Lions. Come on, Dave. MCDC is going to have those boys starting hot. Listen, Daniel.
The Lion love is loud. It's there.
It's been this way now for a year or two. They love these Lions. They bet these Lions over, but now the mainstream's behind them.
Yeah.
Everybody's pushing them.
This is the big year for the Lions. Can they handle the pressure of the attention and the spotlight? Because it's going to be loud. It's going to be bright. Dan Campbell's got a lot of eyeballs on him.
It's going to be as bright as the lights in New York for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. What if he gets hurt?
I'm not worried about the lights being too bright for Aaron Rodgers. I'm talking about the back pages. I'm talking about.
Okay, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I'm talking about prying into his life. Aaron Rodgers spotted on Saturday night out to dinner with his girlfriend, whatever. Jets blow out. Jets lose the game 45-10. Aaron, why were you out Saturday night? Where'd you go? Why weren't you with your team? Why weren't you watching film? That stuff is going to happen to Aaron Rodgers. And he's going to be like, it's none of your business what I do. I do what I want. And that's why New York, I was like, oh my gosh, he's going to New York. That fishbowl.
So what do they want? They want Joe Namath. They want the guy like wearing minks and taking pictures in Central Park and at dinners and stuff and letting them in.
They love New York media. They love you once you win. You have to win first. Once you win, you can do whatever you want. But the Jets haven't won anything in my life. So
it's been
literally
a long time.
In my life, they haven't won anything. So
Freeman McNeil, Richard Todd, Al Toon. This is when the sack exchange was good. Gastineau, Klecko,
I know
Lyons. I know all the history. But you need to find the history for the Jets. I mean, though they did go with Rex. We talked about it. It wasn't just about the feet with Rex. They went to the AFC Championship. They had the butt fumble and everything.
Ooh, they went to the AFC Championship.
They were right there.
You and me are fans of teams that do not count AFC championships. If they did, they'd have a line from me to your house right now.
As pissed off as you are about the Mookie Betts not winning the MVP, I'm still mad about the Steelers losing in the AFC Championship to Stan Humphries and the San Diego Chargers in 1994. We were 8.5-point favorites. I booked my trip to Vegas. I was coming on a junket.
Wow.
And they lost, and I still came. Me and Moses the Barber, we still went to Vegas. And I anger bet the Niners minus 18.5 at every prop, and I thought I knew something. I cashed almost every ticket that I had because I couldn't stand the Chargers. I'm still mad about that. So I get it. The Jets, relax, people. Calm down. Please, slow it down. Stop.
They're very excited in New York right now. But
Akbar said there goes the Jets sponsorship.
Oh,
we didn't want the fucking Jets sponsorship anyway.
Amen to that. Amen. Amen.
Oh, he got the Boston hat out.
Amen to that. We'll go ahead and put the Patriot stuff on. We're gonna roll with that. We'll do that. I didn't want the Jets sponsorship. No, like Woody Johnson.
I don't want the Jets sponsorship. Everybody's trying to get
Johnson
the Jets
somewhere
sponsorship.
else.
Yeah, everybody's going for the Jets. I don't want the Jets.
Take the baby powder somewhere else.
We don't need the Jets.
Go powder his butt for while he's taking ayahuasca. And sitting in the dark.
Listen, Austin Akbar said the first three divisional games for the Chiefs are games 6, 7, and 8. 2 at home and then back in Denver. The Chiefs could start 8-0.
They could.
That might be the bet.
I agree. I think the Chiefs are
That might be the bet. Good job, Austin.
I like it. I mean, just again, if you're looking at the numbers, plus 775, so nearly 8-1 on the Chiefs to be the last undefeated team. I like that. I mean, I still can't believe they're playing Denver before their bye 2 times in 3 weeks. I can't. That's going to be so interesting to look at their schedule and look at Denver's schedule because that could be a really tough time for them. They could get off to a rough start. Solo home run, Cleveland Guardians.
7-5. We're way over the total. That's amazing. We put that one in yesterday. We didn't even know what the total was. I mean, we knew what it was going to be, but this guy thinks I got something. I can't help it. It's crazy. It's not that hard. Bet over in baseball. It's really not that hard.
And I have an under bet coming for you later.
You do today?
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is, and I'll book it. What the hell's wrong with you betting an under?
Just a field play. It's just one of those things. I think it's a decent play. College football schedule of the day. Top 10 team.
Wait, do you have a stinger or music for this? I'm going to take my earphone out. You keep blasting people's car stereos out.
No stingers. No anything. Just schedules for the Florida State Seminoles here today.
Yeah.
So here's the win total: 9.5.
Yeah.
Over -145. Under -120. Okay. Here's your schedule.
Yep.
LSU, Orlando, Sunday, Labor Day weekend, standalone. Huge game.
Be fun to watch all that game together, huh?
Might happen.
Maybe.
More details on that to come.
It'd be a blast to watch that one. That's going to be a hell of a football game, Perrault.
Loss, LSU wins.
That's what everybody keeps saying. You're an SEC guy. I'm rooting for Florida State in that game. Okay, go ahead.
Go GEAUX Tigers.
Southern Miss. Are you going to do that all season with the LSU stuff? Because I got enough LSU people to watch and that give me that. Are you going to do that?
I like LSU a lot. Southern Miss, Golden Eagles, W.
Win.
At Boston College, house them. Here's the game. At Clemson. September 23rd. Yep. Before the bye.
Loss.
If they lose, they open 2-2. The bloom's off the rose for Florida State.
Well, I mean, they could go 3-1. They can be 3-1. They could beat LSU. No?
I don't think they're beating LSU. I don't.
Who are they more likely to beat, LSU or which Tigers? LSU Tigers or Clemson Tigers?
I think they're more likely to beat. I'm just going to say LSU because of the neutral field versus going to Memorial Stadium to play Clemson on the road. So I'll say that because Clemson does not lose home games like ever. So
they do. They lost to South Carolina last year.
Yeah, that was a stunner. Not too many of those.
I think you're likely to catch a team in the first week than the fourth week.
Fair.
Yep. But they're probably more likely to beat the Detroit Tigers. There's way too many Tigers names in college football. It's one of the things you cannot. Is it Tigers the most common nickname in college football?
Has to be.
Has to be, right?
Yeah. There's
way too many damn Tigers names. But I think they go 3-1 to that point.
All right. Vatek after the bye at home. Syracuse at home.
Win.
Duke at home.
They got a 3-game homestand.
All in conference too.
What a nice way to spend October
after Clemson, LSU,
of Florida.
Yeah, it's huge.
Would you call it the Redneck Riviera?
Correct. So
it's all wins,
and then you go
at Wake Forest.
At Wake,
another win, probably, right?
Probably, yeah. No Sam Hartman. High scoring game. Bet the over in that game. At Pitt
in November.
Yep.
Acrisure Stadium. It looks so annoying. It's that Florida State probably goes and wins that game.
Okay.
Even in the cold.
Miami, Florida. Back at home in Tallahassee.
Oh, wow.
Big rival game.
They could win that game.
And then North Alabama is a joke. It's a 1AA school to end the year.
North Alabama Lions?
They just did it because of the extension.
Little tune-up?
Extension, yeah, before the ACC title game if they make it, yeah.
Oh my gosh!
So I think they could win 10 games. It's 9 or 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they have 11 games.
It should have 12. Oh, sorry. Hold on. There's one more game that I have to pull off. Hold on. We didn't talk about. Hold on. There it is at Florida.
Oh, it's kind of a big deal.
Kind of, yeah. Sorry.
Now I want to bet over.
Over, really? So you don't
No, I
like
wanna
Florida
bet-
this year?
No,
You're
I'm looking at this schedule. I mean, there's 3 losses there.
correct. So you want
Max.
that's 9 and max.
Max.
Oh, I don't know. They can lose to Miami. They can lose to Florida. They can lose to Clemson, and they lose to LSU. They can lose all 4 of those games, but it's why it's juiced heavily to the over.
I think 9-3 is the bottom.
That's the worst. Interesting. Okay.
And that means there's 2 more numbers. They're not going undefeated.
No.
But to me, it's 9, 10, or 11.
I will say this. If they run the table here, if they were to go 12-0, they're in the playoff. Maybe whether they win or lose, they could maybe
question if they're 12-0, they're in the playoff.
Or they could lose what I'm saying is they could lose potentially the ACC championship game and still make it potentially. If it's a last second loss.
A lot of other stuff has to happen for that to happen.
But if you beat LSU,
the ACC championship game gets in the playoff and the winner gets in.
No, not necessarily. The winner doesn't have to get in.
So the winner don't get in, but the loser does.
Depends. Yeah, it's happened. SEC, it's happened.
It only happens with the SEC.
It could happen with the ACC.
That's the only
pedigree.
Conference it happens with, because college football is an SEC party that they invite everybody else to.
Florida State's got the potential to have that happen, though, because Florida State
are not losing the championship game of the ACC and getting invited to the party. It's
just saying 12, 12-1.
Yeah, that's where they open the door and they bring in that other SEC team. Blam. Come on in, Alabama. Come on in. Better competition. You guys played North Alabama Lions in November. You can't come.
Might be some truth to that. We'll have to wait and see. Tonight, the Powerball jackpot is at the 3rd richest of all time.
Why is this in the rundown, Perrault?
Because it's $1 billion. It's a billion with a B.
What's Powerball
tonight is $1 billion. Does this interest you at all? 0, nothing, none? Would you drive to the border to go buy Powerball? Because the lines are going to be 200 people deep at Prim in Nevada.
We got Brigade people that will drive for us if you want to go. Okay, first and foremost. Second of all, no, I would not. I used to do this all the time, and then somebody in the office or something would put together, hey, here's 20, here's 20, here's 20, you go, and here's 20, and they would come back with 100 tickets. And then you would talk about it for a day or two, about what you were going to do with the money, who was going to pick it up, and all that other stuff.
Would you take the lump sum or would you take the annuity? Which would you do?
Give me the money.
I
want the bag. I want the money.
You want the bag and the taxes.
Well, the problem with that is I don't think I would do it because I have a 9-year-old.
Okay.
I'll take the annuity. But you got to make sure that she gets it if something happens to me.
Of course. Yeah, you put it, I mean, the annuity would be in totality, you would get, depends on the state, but like if you were living in the state of Iowa, the annuity would be $571 million when all said and done after taxes.
Chef Benny's our lottery expert. He said always take the lump sum. I was told always take the lump sum.
So the lump sum in Iowa would be $294 million versus $571 million with the annuity.
Over 20 years.
Correct. Give me the annuity. I would not take one lump sum. Give it to me. I mean, it's $1 billion.
Yeah, we got a lot of people in here watching this right now. Annuity or cash? Which one do you want if you win this thing?
It's crazy. All winners automatically pay 24% in federal withholding tax on their winning, which is considered income. However, almost certainly the winners will pay another 13% in federal taxes when they file their tax return, as the millions of dollars will put them into the top tax bracket of 37%. Then you have the state income tax, which goes 2.9% to 10.9%. 8 states don't charge income taxes on lottery winnings, however. California, Florida, New Hampshire, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Wyoming, and Washington. So if you are in those states, you want to be buying the tickets in those states. So go to Prim, buy it in California. And then Alabama, Alaska, Hawaii, Nevada, and Utah, we do not participate in Powerball at all. So
annuity, cash, lump sum, lump check mark.
I mean, the difference is pretty dramatic. Like the difference in New Hampshire is 291 million or 564 million.
Cash, lump, you can grow it more in that time frame. Bartone said you could grow it more. He's right about that, most likely. Okay. Straight cash, homie, Konowinski. Give me one of those big fat checks and Rincon, Brandon Rincon. Joel Onler said, give me that big annuity. I thought he was going to say, give me that big something else. Oh, my goodness. Still get robbed with taxes, Akbar.
You do.
Might as well make it 500 million. You still get robbed with taxes. I heard it's better to take the lump sum because you don't want the government to be in full control of the big chunk of your money.
Fair.
Lake Show Magazine.
I mean, look, Chef Benny would know. So, I mean, obviously they've run the math and they've figured it out that it sounds like the annuity would be, the lump sum would be the better move. But it just would kind of kick me in the groin to say, I won $1 billion. What was your take home? 300 million.
Welcome to this world. Like this is
$700 million in taxes. I had to give away more than half of the money that I won. I had to give it up.
You just went through a divorce.
I know.
You give away a lot of things. You got to give away half to get the freedom. I mean, give me the 300 million. We'll figure out how to, make it 500 and we'll grow it that way. I mean,
what a scam for the government, though, by the way. I mean, let's pull a number that every time we pull the number, if it grows really big, we make a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
We win every time. One person in the community, you win, one in a lightning strike, but the government wins every single time.
Every time. Now you got it. Jay Buck, good to see you, Buckley. He said, give me the loot. Mikey Awesome said, taking the lump sum to ODU. Chef Benny said it's definitely a donkey kick in the nuts, the taxes.
Yeah, that's brutal. I mean, that's just like I couldn't imagine. Like, I won $1 billion. No, you didn't. But yeah, I didn't know you didn't. You won 300 million.
It's the worst. Like at the sports book.
Yeah.
When you hit something over 300 to 1,
okay,
they keep 20% automatically out of the so you hit a parlay.
Okay.
Pays, a 10-teamer pays 400 to 1 or whatever it is.
Okay.
So you put the ticket in a machine and it says they're going to collect 20,000, right? That's what it says on their ticket. You put it in and it comes up with the code and you hit the code and then it spits the payout out. And at 20,000 immediately becomes 15.5 because they keep of the 20,000, 10%, 20%, is, and then another 5. It's 15 because of the taxes.
But okay, here's my question. In Nevada, there's no state income tax. Is that the federal tax they keep?
That's the federal. Yeah. 25%.
Federal tax they keep.
Yeah.
So that means
if you don't get what you you're talking about, not getting what you say that you were getting, or not getting what they're advertising that you won. It's a very uncomfortable situation. It happens in horse racing too. Guy hit a pick 6. He was winning 180,000. We're going to pay him 180,000. Well, that was less 36 and 9, 45 dimes.
Wow.
He got 180,000 less 45. He really only got 135.
But is that for DraftKings, FanDuel, everyone else as well? Do they do that?
Oh, that's a federal. I mean, I know it is in Nevada. I don't know. I would assume that it's a 300 to 1 or more odds thing. I think that's universal across the country. Yeah. So that stinks.
It does stink.
That stinks.
That's absolutely brutal to do that.
Mikey Awesome said if he wins, he's going to be the flagship sponsor. We're getting
Thank you,
a studio with a golf simulator.
I love it.
Our boys.
Let's do it up for sure. We can do the whole show inside of the sports code. Probably not, but we just real fast. I'm going to do better to book it. So Rockingham Park, It's where I placed my first ever bet with my grandfather, Grandpa Joe, at the horse track.
What is this place? What is this place?
Gone. They built a mall. They built a mall, the Rockingham Park Mall, on top of the racetrack. They built it, right? They're putting a casino inside in the mall. Okay. I made my first bet. They're putting a casino at Rockingham Park.
Is this a good idea?
No, it's an absolutely horrible idea. It's an awful idea by New Hampshire. It's just really funny that the place I made my first ever bet is now being turned. It was turned into a mall, and now in the mall they're making a casino because the Sears went out of business. So in the place that they have Sears, the end of the whole, if you know the Rockingham Park Mall, there's at the far end of it is where the Sears used to be. Sears went out of business. They're putting a casino in there now.
I just don't understand. Right? Like,
bad idea.
So you said the articles, and I'm reading them. And I'm like, I can't wait to ask him about this place because, all right, it was a track and they destroyed the track.
Yep.
And not that there's always unsavory characters, but the track becomes a place of not ill repute, but it's not always a clean, comfortable. Like you're not taking.
My grandfather lived there. Yes, my grandfather went. He took his 8-year-old grandson there.
Well, that's fine, but like you're not going on a date to get a title shot. Let's go to the track at this joint. No, ever.
No.
Okay.
Never. Right.
So then they knock it down and they build a mall. And I'm thinking, okay, this is probably like one of those like malls that like only the locals go to, and it probably
because everyone from Mass drives up 93 to go to it because there's no sales tax in New Hampshire.
Oh, okay. So
everyone from northern Mass, everybody in the Merrimack Valley, everyone, Tingsboro, Lowell, Lawrence, Andover, all of us went to the Rockingham Park Mall.
Okay, so decent traffic then. You get decent traffic at the mall.
Yes.
Okay. So because they did this at this Greensburg Salem Mall in Pittsburgh. They built a gambling. I believe the term they used was parlor. Like they set up a casino inside the mall for old people and all the blue hairs to feed the machines and blow all their money and all their Social Security checks and everything else.
Yep.
Bad idea. This is a terrible idea.
Terrible idea. It's absolutely a terrible idea. But it's, they have a mall that's dying, like every mall in America. They're all dying and they don't know what to do because no one's driving anymore from my part of the Massachusetts. No one's going up there anymore because you just buy it on Amazon and save the gas. And driving, 30 minutes up and, it's a round trip, 45-minute drive for some people to go up to the Rockingham Park Mall. Don't need to do that anymore. It's all on your phone. I bought my stuff. So the mall's dying and Sears goes out of business. They have this huge anchor tenant. They don't know what to do with it. And so they go make it into a casino. What old is new? We had a racetrack. It was back to the roots of Rockingham Park, which is now going to be I want to know, are they going to put that fake
sports book there?
Are they going to put that fake race tracking, that race betting machine that have the horses run
Sigma
around?
Derby.
Yeah, put that in there.
They're putting it in there. It said it in the article.
It did it? Nice. I missed that part.
It said they're putting the artificial horse racing machines in this new place.
What old is new? It's all coming around.
It's all coming back.
It's too good. I love it. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Can't believe it. I read the article. I said, we got to go do a show from there.
Boy, that's not a nice part of New Hampshire. That's Salem. That is not a nice part of New Hampshire.
Do you think they're going to have a sports book in this joint?
Probably. I mean, there's DraftKings has the Seabrook book and they're building more books in that general area. So yeah, my gut tells me that there would be a book of some sort coming.
There's a huge mall in Pittsburgh called the Century 3 Mall.
Yeah.
It was groundbreaking at the time. Stores upon stores, levels upon levels. Parking lot was huge. They just announced this morning they're condemning it.
Oh,
in
right.
Pittsburgh. It's closed. It's done.
It's amazing.
Malls are going away.
I feel like when the movie Casino had that last shot of all the old casinos being torn down, that's kind of how all the malls of our life are going. They're all being torn down. They're all just, they're not working. You have to find different ways to get people to shop in person, and it's not easy to do it. And they're all to come into an environment. We have one mall indoors here in Vegas, by the way, guys. We have one on the Strip because those you guys who come out of town, you're the one going to fashion show. No one else goes to fashion show, really. Every other mall is outdoors.
I love fashion show.
Madeline loves fashion show too. You must love the shoe stores.
Deuce Daly just came in and said the casino is going into the old Sears at the Pheasant Lane Mall in Nashua, not the Rockingham Mall in Salem.
Oh,
possible?
Sure, it's possible, but that's not what the article said. The article said Rockingham.
I'm just reading you what Deuce Daly said. Thank you for joining the show and being involved.
I mean, I read that wrong. It's the same story though. I mean, I lived in Nashua. I worked in Nashua. I've been to the Pheasant Lane Mall a ton. I had tons of clients in the Nashua. I ran 2 stations in Manchester and Nashua. So I know that mall really, really well. Actually, I lived, my townhouse was a half a mile from that mall.
Really?
When I lived there. Yeah. When I worked there. I had a townhouse that was right by the mall.
Did you eat at the food court at the mall?
All the time. Loved it. It was great. I loved it.
When you're broke.
I loved it.
Single.
Phenomenal. Yeah. No, it's single. I was with Teresa. I lived there.
This was later. This was your second trip around the sun.
Oh yeah. This is when I was a general manager. I ran the stations. This is in my 30s.
Oh.
Yeah. This is when I was 32 to 36, 7, somewhere in that range. Yeah. This was marriage. This was all that stuff when I went there to the Pheasant Lane Mall. Interesting. Sports Grid, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys being here. That's phenomenal. If you're on YouTube and Twitter, please do not move. It is time for bonus time. Now I got to read that story. I got to figure out if I got that story wrong.
Especially, want to thank the people in Italy watching the
show.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing about today, which we'll get to. John just came in the chat and said, Westmoreland County in Pennsylvania has a casino at the mall now for 3 years. The casino is packed all day, especially the slots. Of course it is. Yeah. Unfortunately, the sports book in the area is terrible. It's always the afterthought. Yeah, it's always the toy department.
Here's the problem with the Pheasant Lane Mall, just to put it around, because Rockingham Mall, actually, it's different. I think the Sears is when I visit there too. But the Nashua Mall draws a ton from Lowell and Lawrence, which is where I lived as well. So I lived in Lowell
and Lawrence, Massachusetts.
Yeah. So I lived in Lowell, worked in Nashua. The station was in Nashua. We had 2 signals, one in Manchester, one in Nashua. So I lived in Lowell and then moved to New Hampshire eventually. But when I moved back, I lived in Lowell. So you drive up Route 3, which is a quick little run. If people from Mass stop going up there, which they have stopped going up there, Salem and Nashua, New Hampshire, both have seen dramatic changes in things going out of business, and just your anchor tenants are dying. I mean, like, do you think our kids are going to know, Madeline, and I guess your older kids would, but like when Kendall and Maddie are like driving age 16, are box stores going to exist? It feels like they're all
what's going to exist in 7 years. Our
like
kids
they're
are
all
going to be driving in 7 years.
Yes, in 7 years they'll be driving.
I have no idea what's going to exist. The cars may fly.
Not going to fly.
But I don't know.
Box store, like it takes a lot for me to go into a box store. There's just not
like what do you mean, cardboard box store? What are you talking?
No, big box stores. Like remember Circuit City?
Of course, they were our biggest competition for my dad's store.
And they're dead. And they're dead.
They
right?
died. Yeah,
they're gone.
Yeah.
Best Buy will go next. Best Buy's headed that way.
I still like walking into Best Buy.
Well, because you're 52.
No, I know, but I like to just see everything.
I know, but no one else does.
But I don't really go very often anymore.
Okay.
I really don't.
Have you seen what's going on in downtown Summerlin here? The 2 box stores are out. Bye Bye Baby, gone. Best Buy, gone. They're all going. All those box stores, all that right by Trader Joe's, all of them, they're all going out of business. They're all going. So that mall right in downtown Summerlin, that mall is in trouble. That mall is in big, big trouble. There are people, not the big box stores, the Macy's, all those down there are all in trouble. So this idea of like boutique, small mom and pop shops are going to be, I think, what our kids are going to be shopping at more and more.
That's what I grew up at. Yeah, I mean, that was my dad's store. That's what we did. It was
because you're going to have unique things that nobody else carries. So if you need something of a generic nature, you're going to buy it on your phone. You're going to buy it on Amazon. It's going to be delivered by a robot by a drone. It's going to drop it on your doorstep. And then if you need to go shopping, you're going to go to a store that has something very unique to go buy it. It's a fascinating. We're in a fascinating time right now in terms of retail economy and retail marketing and everything
I
else.
still think COVID changed everything.
It did. It sped everything up. It sped everything up. We were always headed this way. But the idea of going to a 9 to 5 and punching a clock and sitting behind a desk and having your boss keep track of you, that is gone. That's never coming back. Like, they're trying to bring people back out of the houses, but I mean, I know more people working from home than I do who go to an office. Still.
It's true.
And why pay the retail space? Why pay the overhead cost? There's no need to it.
Well, because now it's super costly. I mean,
Right.
like before it was, affordable. I mean, the company walked into our store, my dad's store, and tripled the rent.
Overnight? Whoa.
Said, we're tripling the rent. What do you want to do? I said, what do you mean you're tripling the rent? Yeah, we're tripling the rent. You get 3 months. He said, I'm not tripling. I've been here 35 years.
Wow.
The store's been here 50 years. You're tripling the rent and you're giving me 3 months notice? Out of business. Pushed them out of business. Closed the doors. They never opened the gate. It still says Ralph's Discount City on the sign in downtown Pittsburgh. Never put a tenant in there since. I still can't figure out. I will get to the bottom of it, but that's how that went down. And our family's lives changed like that.
Wow.
So businesses aren't at the mercy of landlords anymore.
Right.
Yeah. And this was in a prime downtown area spot. Volume of the business when we were doing $20 million a year.
Damn.
Gone. Evaporated. All that history, all that work, defending downtown, gone. So you're right. Like businesses are making decisions. We're not paying that rent. We
don't need to. We can be an online presence. If you have a name like a Best Buy, you've got people shopping. I mean, I walk into Best Buy all the time and I'm like, there used to be so much more things here for sale. Like, there used to be so many more things you carried. And now you're just carrying what people are buying. You're very tight with your inventory. You don't have what you used to have, because I've been told numerous times when I've been looking for something, and they go, oh yeah, we only sell that online now.
Mm-hmm.
We don't carry that. We don't have that space anymore to be eaten up by this product. You want to buy that? Go ahead, go buy it online. And I'm like, you're just migrating to an online store. You're just slowly whittling away, getting people used to buying online. So then you can do what's happening in downtown Summerlin. You just close the store and say, we don't need to have these. All those jobs, all that transportation, all those things that go on, shipping costs, gone. Bye.
Right.
I mean, we're living in such a unique part, and it's impacting people in the audience, I'm sure, people who are, everything, dealing with, what they've done for their life and what they've built their careers on. And oh yeah, by the way, we don't need that anymore. Like, wait, what do you mean? I've worked here for 10 years. Doesn't matter. We're done. Thanks. We're doing something else now. It's weird time.
It makes it very difficult to, what's the word I'm looking for? To be a loyal employee.
Oh, and there's not. You're absolutely right. There's not at all. Look at
Changed
the problems.
Everything.
They can't keep people. I mean, they're trying desperately to keep. They can't find people to work. I mean, that's everybody right now is struggling from, a quick supermarket up to a fine dining establishment. Keeping your employees is a problem. Finding people who want to work is a problem.
Yep.
Lowest unemployment in the last 50 years. And it's causing big issues with a lot of people who just can't find the work's available. Finding the people who want to work is a pretty big concern, and it's causing places to go out of business.
Yes.
They can't staff it, so they can't deliver to their customers.
Incredible.
Really wild times we're living in. Ooh, wait, why didn't that fire? Hold on, that didn't fire. That was a first. Hit the button, it didn't fire. All right, I'm gonna do it. Under 8.5, Marlins Cardinals.
You crazy, son.
I think Alcantara is going to start to pitch well. This game is actually going on live. Sorry, this game actually started. This game, it's 4-2, top of the fourth. So that bet's dead. Okay, good. So there we go. There'll be an 0-1 start. I bet the under. I tried to do it. That was a mistake. Okay, Red Sox first 5 run line is -135 against your Oakland A's, the jersey you're wearing.
Yeah.
Red Sox got blanked 3-0 yesterday. Brian Bello day on Getaway Baseball Day for the Red Sox. Betting it or booking it.
Gigantic line.
Now, yeah, it spiked.
-225.
Oh, it was 220 last night. Okay, so it didn't move up too much.
Yeah. Scary, right?
All 3 of these bets today are scary for me. I could go 0-3 very easily today.
First 5 run line. So you're laying a half a run?
Yep.
Got to be leading after 5.
Correct.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna book it out because we might be tied. 1-1, 2-2.
Money line was -154.
I'd rather do that.
Nah, I'm not doing that. Red Sox. I'm confident they'll bounce back. They'll bounce back against the A's.
Well, the money line is insurance for 15 more cents. You push and it's okay.
Yeah, but I think they're going to be winning though. I'd rather lay less juice, and they're going to be winning.
That's fine.
You only lose. You
lose.
Juice only matters when you lose. That's one of my favorite.
Right.
It's my favorite lines from the Brigade, from our Discord channel.
Yeah.
Juice only matters when you lose. And then finally, I thought the under was going to be scary. This one's really scary. Diamondbacks last night +1.5 runs, even money against the Braves.
Why not?
So the Diamondbacks are 29-16 on the run line on the road this year.
That's good. They're losing 1-run games.
And they're 27-18 straight up
Yeah.
on the road this year. So you've got Morton going. 2 of his last 4 games have been a 1-run win for the Braves.
I think we bet this. I like this.
Scary, but
Yeah.
they won 16-13 yesterday. Playoff atmosphere type game. Be very curious to see. So we'll go with that.
I like it.
So we're betting that. Favorite thing about today is what?
Wake up to a bunch of alerts, texts, whatever, and I get the one from Dewey, our friend Todd Dewey, Las Vegas Review-Journal reporter, that says he's in Rome. He's been texting pictures and tweeting pictures and stuff at Todd Dewey, and he says, "I wake up, or I'm in Rome in my hotel watching TV, and who's on my screen?" And he has a picture of me on the screen. And he's like, "You're an international sensation. Love you, brother." And he tags me. I just started laughing. And I sent it to both you and my wife. And my wife can't believe it. She thinks that he's sitting down, like, at the Bellagio,
Right,
fake Italy,
right,
taking pictures of the screen or something. And you really just don't know who's watching. Right. So between that and then Villano reached out and said he saw something and he's got to get back to town, and he's asking about the Brigade proxy service and all this other stuff. And I said, "We can help you. You can, he lives in California full time." I said, "We'll put the picks in. It's no problem." So favorite thing about today, got a shout out from Italy, Bellissimo. My friend Todd, and hello to Villano. Sign up for the Brigade proxy service. We'll put all the picks in. All you got to do is come to town once. We'll have multiple opportunities to come to town and meet us. Hopefully, we'll know by the end of this week. Do you think? Can we get it nailed? It's Wednesday. Can we get somebody nailed down by Friday
for this weekend?
No, for the stuff that we got in August, those weekends you talked about, the Bet Bash weekend, the Super Contest weekend, the Circuit Contest weekend.
Yes.
We'll have something hopefully nailed down in the next couple days. We'll tell you guys to come.
Yes.
Maybe we'll have a reunion show.
Very much so. 2 things. One, my poor brother. This is a good and a bad story.
It did not rain again.
Oh no, it got worse. So because of all the rain, he had a roofing problem on one of his buildings.
Okay.
So my brother climbed up on top of a 14-foot high ladder.
That's scary as hell.
Ladder slipped.
Oh, don't tell me that. What happened?
Brother fell 14 feet directly onto his heel. Didn't break it, but brother Ben's now in a walking boot for the next couple of weeks because he can't walk. So this is
farmers don't get help. They just do everything themselves.
Yep. But the governor of Massachusetts and the lieutenant governor of Massachusetts tomorrow will be on the farm surveying the damage done by the farm, by the floods. So with that comes news coverage, with that comes television stations.
Oh.
So the hope is that, because as what normally happens, right? You start a GoFundMe, it's hot and busy for the first 4 or 5 days, and then it really cools down. People lose track of it and they cool down. So they didn't hit their goal. So the hope is that with the lieutenant governor and the governor of Mass heading to the farm tomorrow, that there will be some extra news coverage, extra media coverage on it to kind of highlight what's going on with that. So good news, bad news. Good news, they got the governor, lieutenant governor going to the farm in Western Mass. That's awesome for the mayor, the governor of Massachusetts. But my brother's in a walking boot because he fell off a 14-foot high ladder onto his heel. And so he's laid up. So I told him to watch the show today. I don't know if he did or he didn't, but he's been sitting, it's hot. It's not fun. He's been texting me going, why is it 120 degrees in Vegas? And I said, I don't know. We're asking the same questions as to it goes. Folks, hit the like button and subscribe button. We appreciate everything. Tomorrow, 2 guests for you guys tomorrow. Spanky from Spanky Odds and Spanky's Bet Bash here in Vegas will be with us to talk about that. We're going to talk a little baseball as well with our friend Mark Malusis. Moose coming in tomorrow as well. So 2 guests on a Thursday. Friday, we got a couple of things in the cooker as well for Friday. So Dave, Matt, talk